AskReddit. What are some dumb purchases you made? A shitty mall katana while I was on a date, no less. It was a first date. There was not a second. When I was high off pain meds after my ACL surgery, I was on Amazon and saw a typewriter that I really wanted. Order it, and it was a picture of a typewriter on a notebook. I'm still mad about that, lol. My phone died in the middle of Times Square. I was there on a school trip and was alone for about 4 hours. I ended up buying a charger from a gift shop that was marked up to $50. I ended up paying $30, and it was the shittiest charger I have ever used in my entire life. I can still remember looking at the screen when it booted up to say 9 hours and 30 minutes until fully charged. I've bought a lot of how-to kits / books. Like how to knit, how to calligraphy, how to paint, how to write poetry, etc. Have I learned how to do a single one of those things? No, I have not. Edit, you'll thanks, but I'm aware of the existence of YouTube, Google, and libraries. That would be why I'm saying they are dumb purchases, lol. I traded a rather rare volume into a local used bookstore because I had 2 of them. Then went back to the bookstore a month later and excitedly bought my own book back because it was rare and I didn't think I owned it. I was wrong. Had a crush on a guy I barely knew who told someone else who told me that this guy was into dominant women. A few days later I dropped nearly $600 on bondage gear, an entire strap-on setup, and what I imagined to be dominatrix outfits. Everything arrived in the mail by a couple weeks later. I tried on everything, looked all manner of ridiculous, and suddenly realized I had never planned beyond that point. I couldn't come up with any non-mortifying way to try to let this guy know that I was prepared to dominate him. Like, I couldn't even decide if it would be less ridiculous to pretend I had always had all this stuff and been into such things, or to admit I bought everything on the off chance that a near stranger I was infatuated with might be down for it. In the end, I gave it all away to an elderly gay couple on Craigslist. That was my $600 value charity donation for the year. Wasn't even tax deductible. So you weren't dating him or even knew if he liked you, but you were ready just in case, I guess. I think you win. Dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. $400 fish tank lighting. I wasn't carpenter enough to build the hood to mount it. It sits in the basement as a monument of my idiocy. A cactus that lights up. Those claw covers for cats to stop them from scratching up your furniture. They were ripped off the next day. He was gnawing at his little feet until everyone was gone. Kitten mittens. I commissioned an artist to paint a portrait of my then girlfriend's dying pet rat. She had told me her rat was about to die a month before I got it. By the time it was ready, the relationship had ended and I didn't know what to do with it. I paid $90 for it and it was absolutely worth the price. Artist did an amazing job. I just didn't have anyone to give it to now. I ended up giving it to her anyway. I regret doing that since I probably just made her feel guilty. Thing is, I was fully aware we were about to break up. I just liked her so much, and I was totally alone in a new state. I didn't think I was good enough to earn her love, so I tried to buy it. Real dumb. OMG, when I was in 1st grade, we got school bucks for good behavior, and we could buy things with them at the school store once a week. One of those things was a ceramic bunny, and when it was my turn to buy something, I raced over to get that bunny so no one else would get it first. No one else was going for that bunny. After I thought about it, I was like, WTF was I so worried about? Anyway, the reason I wanted it so much was to give it to my mom as a gift, and she kept it for ages. Accidentally bought stuff in Clash of Clans. Twice. I knew a guy in high school who worked at Burger King part-time just to exclusively fuel his Clash of Clans addiction. He legit spent his entire checks on that game. Wonder how he feels about it now. $75 implants only to let them die because I forgot about them. A house in 2007. It's still not worth as much as we paid for it. I went on a first date with the girl that I liked. We live in New Jersey and it was July, so obviously I took her to the boardwalk. While we were there, I saw a vendor selling hermit crabs and my dumbass thought it'd be funny to buy them as a joke and try to impress her. I then realized, after spending $30 on 2 crabs, 2 because 1 would get lonely, that I needed a proper setup. So we went to PetSmart and got a tank, food, sand, and a log for them to play on. Long story short, I spent over $100 on hermit crabs and supplies. Not to mention that the girl completely friend-zoned me, which is okay, because now I have my 2 crabs pickles and Georges to keep me company. Well, now you have a story about getting crabs on a first date. I bought an umbrella on a rainy day once from a cheap corner store that seemed like it was a hidden drug operation or something, and it broke that very day. Why would you buy an umbrella? They're free in that little tin can at coffee shops. Edit. Gold. Cool. Thank you. An ex broke up with me. She was the first person I dated and didn't really know how to navigate the breakup, so I bought her a really thoughtful gift for her birthday a month later. What a waste of money and time looking back on it. My first pack of cigarettes. Spent over $100 or more buying clothes for my avatar on a virtual reality game when I cold spent it on, actual clothes. I spent $60 on her electric blue ceramic pumpkin. Getting home drunk and spending $15 on the Animal Crossing app. This has happened 3 times. I used to buy Starbucks and or lunch for several coworkers multiple times a week. I was in an incredible amount of debt. Deciding to go to grad school in 2012 -5 years after graduating for no other reason than I have no clue what to do with my life. I bought a rare exotic cucumber from a guy who said it would give me good luck. Bought a Onishi for my Great Dane. Don't know why I bought it, but I think he liked it. I bought books when I was in first semester, later realized that I could have read online, so sold them after the semester. Not me, but my mom. She surprised me with a pair of fancy basketball shoes for my birthday, even though I'd never expressed any interest in such a thing, and I was neither cool nor athletic. I brought them to scout camp a few weeks later and lost one of them in the mud. They were original, size 11 Air Jordans, in 1984 or 1985. When I was 17, I had unknowingly saved up a lot, $2,000 from work. I chose to spend this on a double neck guitar. One time I was so ducked on dabs I bought 5 pounds of gummy sharks online. Sober me was not stoked. Later high me was. I bought a faceless doll to scare people. Turns out I was the most scared one. Bought $50 worth of Beanie Babies because I thought they'd be worth something. Cocaine. Expensive, addictive, and dangerous, all to feel a little euphoric and annoyingly chatty for 30 minutes at a time. I had accidentally doubled my dose of pain meds right before I went to go see a showing of the film Drive. On my walk home I ordered a pair of what I thought was the gloves Ryan Gosling's character wears in the film. A week later I got them in the mail and realized they were 3 sizes too big and are entirely different color. $160 down the toilet. That night I took my Ambien and apparently decided to try again after staying on the computer after my sleep meds had kicked in. I bought the same pair of gloves